In the beginning there was the sun, water and carbon dioxide. These three made carbohydrates in the wheat. The wheat was eaten by the pig, and the pig made protein and fat. An orange tree took the sun, water and carbon dioxide and made sugar in the orange. There is three types of sugar: sugar, fructose and glucose. Carbohydrates are coming in several shapes. One molecule long as monosaccharides, fructose and glucose. Two molecules long, disaccharides, sugar and lactose. Polysaccharides, 200 or 2,500 monosaccharides long. They are used as structure or storage. Starch, as potatoes, rice and wheat. Resistant starch, just passing through us. And glycogen, it's the liver's energy reserve. The human took the wheat and made bread, took the pig and made a bacon sandwich, took the orange and made orange juice to drink. In the mouth, the saliva amylase enzyme cut the carbohydrate. Saliva lipase cut the fat. In the stomach, gastric juices, pepsin enzyme cut protein. Small intestine cut the rest, cut it all to the smallest parts of food. The small intestines absorb fat, protein and carbohydrates through the cell wall. The capillary behind the cell wall takes up amino acids, that's a protein's smallest part, glucose and fructose. The lymphatic vessel takes up the fatty acid. The lymphatic vessel is the body's cleaning system. They transport their cargo to the blood. Islets of Langerhausen, sending out insulin to balance the blood glucose. The blood glucose should be at all times around 5.5. The blood transport everything to the liver. Together with the insulin, the liver transform the fructose and the glucose to glycogen as the storage structure for glucose. The liver and the insulin are also transforming the fructose and the glucose to fatty acids, transforming the fatty acids to triglycerides, the triglycerides to very low density lipoproteins, LDL, and sending it out in the blood. The body wants that the blood glucose should be 5.5 millimole a liter. So all blood glucose over 5.5 is stored in fat cell, activated of the insulin. The glucose molecule is transformed into a fatty acid and transformed to the storage form of triglyceride. To recap everything I've said until now, this is the triangle of blood glucose balance. A fat cell, adipocyte, 80% of them is under the skin. They buffer energy as glucose and fat. The small circle is an empty fat cell, and a big circle is a completely full fat cell. The full fat cell is so full it sends out stress signals. It's so full that it has lack of oxygen. It's so full that it can't work, and it's defending himself by being insulin resistant to not accept any more glucose or fat. This is activating the immune system. If the fat cell have to continue being too full, it becomes dysfunction. If it continue to be dysfunction, it dies. If it dies, the macrophages comes and eats it up to clear the mess and make the tissue healthy. To the complete picture. First, the fat cells under the skin are filled up. Then, the filling up is around the organs. Last, the fat is forced into the organ. This is all leading to cell dysfunction. Cell dysfunction is leading to cell death. Cell death is forcing the macrophage to eat up the cells to create the healthy tissue. If it's too much dead cells, they can't cope. This is the picture of bacon only. Fat and protein is going through the intestine wall. The amino acid, the protein, is going to the capillary. The lymphatic vessel takes the fatty acids and transports them to the blood. Pancreas is sending out glucagon to defend the blood glucose of 5.5. The fat and protein is coming to the liver. The glucagon is retrieving glucose from the storage glycogen and letting it out in the bloodstream to defend the blood glucose of 5.5. To the complete picture, this is to keep the blood glucose 5.5. The fat and the protein is coming to the liver. Glucagon is taking out glucose from the glycogen. Glucagon is taking out glucose from the fat cell, and then it's keeping the blood glucose of 5.5 because it's glucagon retrieving glucose. It's emptying this liver of storage. It's retrieving glucose from the fat cell. It's making space in the fat cell.